Welcome to SmartStart. In just the next few minutes, we'll unpack the biggest tech breakthroughs, AI moves, and legal battles that have shaped the past week. Which story will change the way you work, play, or travel? Let's find out. First up, hardware. AMD announced the Ryzen 9 9950X3D2, a 16-core processor priced at $649. With a 3D cache, AMD claims a 5 to 10% performance uplift for creative apps like DaVinci Resolve and Blender. In the consumer cooling world, Dyson introduced the HushJet Mini Cool, the first handheld, bladeless fan. It spins at 65,000 RPM, pushes air at 25 meters per second, runs for 6 hours on a single charge, and retails for $100. On audio, JBL rolled out the Live 780NC and 6880NC headphones, but reviews label them average, because the low end sounds hollow and the bass is too aggressive for the price. Meanwhile, Razer's new Hammerhead V3 hyperspeed earbuds promise ultra-low latency over 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi, upgraded ANC, a 40-hour battery life, and a price tag around $130. In the automotive arena, Tesla is reportedly prototyping a compact electric SUV shorter than the Model Y at roughly 14 feet, aimed at a lower price point while keeping full self-driving hardware. Finally, Volkswagen announced that U.S. production of the ID.4 electric SUV will cease, shifting to a gasoline-powered Atlas SUV slated for 2027 as EV demand softens and tax credits evaporate. Turning to artificial intelligence, Google's Gemini now includes a notebooks feature, letting creators organize projects and sync directly with Notebook LM. Gemini also upgrades its answering engine with 3D modeling and real-time simulations, think orbital paths and Doppler effects. On the creator side, YouTube Shorts debut an AI-generated avatar tool that clones a user's voice and likeness, available only to users aged 18+ and clearly labeled as AI-generated. OpenAI has hit a pause on its Stargate UK data center build, citing energy costs and regulatory hurdles. The Florida Attorney General's office, however, has opened an investigation into claims that ChatGPT was used to plan the 2025 Florida State University shooting. Sierra launches Ghostwriter, an autonomous AI agent that can complete tasks without user clicks, nudging us toward a hands-free future. Finally, the startup Avik introduces an email client that lets you swipe through your inbox the way you swipe on Tinder, a design that secured $8.4 million in funding. In the broadband arena, Amazon's satellite internet project LEO has been delayed. CEO Andy Jassy says only about 700 satellites are airborne, far short of the original target, with a launch window now set for mid-2026. Ticketmaster is under a Manhattan federal jury review for an alleged antitrust case brought by Live Nation, which could force a corporate split. StubHub agreed to a $10 million settlement with the FTC over accusations of deceptive ticket pricing. The Fubo app adds team channels, an AI-generated short video feed that surfaces highlights from the sports teams you follow. Spotify now offers a toggle to completely disable video playback, letting listeners focus on pure audio. Waymo and Waze have launched a pilot where data from Waymo robotaxis highlights potholes. Waze users receive alerts and municipalities can prioritize repairs. Lastly, Google and Intel are expanding their AI partnership. Google Cloud will run AI workloads on Intel's new Xeon 6 processors, boosting inference performance across the board. On the road, Mariana Minerals, a startup founded by a former Tesla engineer, has teamed up with autonomous truck company Pronto to launch self-driving truck trials at the Copper One mine in Utah. At the same time, clean tech startup Ratify unveiled a plasma reactor that uses hydrogen to separate rare earth metals such as dysprosium and samarium, aiming to reduce reliance on Chinese supply chains. Funding news: Collide Capital closed a second fund, raising $95 million to back fintech and future of work startups. Space propulsion company Portal Space Systems secured $50 million to develop a solar thermal rocket engine, with its Supernova vehicle slated for a 2027 debut. AI data platform Mercor suffered a breach that exposed 4 petabytes of information, including candidate resumes and API keys. John Deere agreed to pay $99 million to settle a class action lawsuit over right to repair restrictions. Amazon's latest shareholder letter from CEO Andy Jassy highlighted the company's rivalry with NVIDIA and Intel in AI chips, promoting Trainium and Graviton CPUs, while defending a $200 billion AWS infrastructure spend. In entertainment, Netflix has added the classic Jackbox Party Pack games, Drawful 2, Fibbage 4, Quiplash 3 to its TV games offering, expanding social gaming on the platform. And a surprise for retro enthusiasts, developer Brian Keller successfully ran macOS X 10.0 on a Nintendo Wii, proving the old console can still host modern operating systems after years of tinkering. That's the fast-track rundown of everything that mattered in tech this week, from CPUs that push creative work faster, to AI tools that blur the line between human and machine, and legal battles that could reshape entire industries. If you found any story especially exciting, let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a SmartStart update.